Have you ever shot something, brought it in to edit, found out the audio is totally unusable? I know I have. Well, today I've got 4 tips I want to share about recording better sound out in the field for dialogue. Let's get into it. Tip number 1, and this is probably the most important one, we want to set our audio recording level so that it's peaking at minus 12 decibels. Minus 12, 12, 12, 12. You got to remember that, minus 12. It's easy to remember because on all the recorders now they have like little marks or something will change on the level indicators, on the level meters right around there. So have them peaking right around there, and then the rest is going to live down a little lower, maybe even quieter moments down to minus 18 or so. Having that 12 decibels gives you that extra headroom, that space that you need so that if there's a louder moment that comes up, some kid comes yelling or screaming or something, it's not gonna peg out at 0 and your audio is not gonna be ruined. One thing to note on a lot of the mirrorless newer cameras, if you're plugging right in like I am right now, this is a Rode Wireless Go. It's plugged into a Sony a7 III. I have this set on a 6 internally in the camera. So the default is 27. So obviously I've got that dialed way back. But just know that like going in, I've got this older Rode VideoMic Pro, which I love. And one of the things that was great 10 years ago is it has a plus 20 decibel thing so you could send a hotter signal to it. The cameras these days, if you sent that plus 20 decibels of gain, you would blow out, and I've done that. You would totally ruin your audio because it would be way above that minus 12 decibel peaking level. So just remember that minus 12 decibels. And the other bonus tip here I'm going to give you is some cameras will have an auto switch. Even the C200, which is a professional camera I use, that has an auto switch. You got to make sure it's in manual so you can dial that in so you can see that level meter bouncing right where you want it to. Some of the Canon cameras like the new R6, they have AGC on by default, so you just go turn that automatic gain control down, and then you'll be getting some great audio levels. So that's it for tip 1. Tip number 2 I'm going to give you is going to be to make sure you use headphones. I know this sounds like a no-brainer, but it's really easy to think that maybe I don't need to have headphones if I can see the audio meters and they're bouncing at minus 12 like we just talked about. Well, you don't know for sure what the sound quality is, and you also don't know that you're always recording from the right channel. Like maybe you've got multiple channels coming in and or the camera became slightly unplugged and you're recording with the on-camera mic. It's not something you wanted to do. So get a good pair of headphones and make sure you're listening to what you're recording. Simple enough, right? These Sonys are great. This is a MDR V6. They don't make these anymore, I don't think, but there's a really popular one called the 7506, and they sell for about $90. And they're great because you don't just use them for recording sound, you can go back and edit with them too. So that's a super helpful thing. I've got one pet peeve about headphones, and this type of headphone specifically that I see editors do all the time. They'll take these at the end of a shoot, you can push them in like this, which is sweet. They come with this amazing like old school telephone cable. I don't know if you used to have a telephone that had like the coil, you know? Maybe you probably just had a cell phone. I don't know. I had a phone that was like this. Well, they'll take it and then they'll wrap it around and wrap it around. And what happens is this coil gets destroyed with that wrapping. So take care of the cable if you get these. And they all come with a nice faux fox leather bag. Make use of that bag, you know? And they will last you a long time. This pair of headphones right here looks brand new, and I've used them 10 years almost on a daily basis for 5 days a week. So you take care of them, they'll take care of you. They also, I was going to say about these MDR V6s or the Sony 7506, which is a similar one that you can still find, is these ear cups are replaceable. So after several years of wearing them all the time, especially if you have a beard, the side of the leather or the fox leather, the faux leather stuff starts to wear off, or these will get ripped off. You can replace these, and the inside little speaker that's in the headphone still works great. So these are maybe 20 bucks if you got to replace the ear cups, and I've done that once. And then new ones are actually kind of nicer than the originals. So that's it for tip 2. Listen to your sound, get some good headphones and plug them in, use them. Okay, tip number 3 is gonna be to use protection. And I'm talking about like dead cats, fluffy, furry little things like this. A lot of the microphones now will come with them. This is the Deity D4 Duo mic. The way they work is it's really simple. You just slip it right over the end of the microphone and it protects the capsules from, you know, strong winds that are hitting it, and it cuts off those low frequencies so they're never even recorded. You never get that like kind of sound, which really can destroy a recording, especially you know, on a male voice where you still need some of that deep bass sound and you can't just like EQ it out. Get yourself something like this and don't film outside without it. And that brings us to tip number 4, which is to get the microphone as close to your subject as possible. Let's say we're gonna boom someone with this microphone. We wanna see the microphone dip into the frame behind the camera, and then we're gonna back off just a little bit so it's just barely out of frame. From a distance, it might look like it's cutting to someone's head or it's down too low, but you know, because you're looking through the your screen back there, that it's actually out of frame. Or maybe you want it to be in frame and you can get it even lower, like if it's a behind the scenes kind of thing. Another great option to get the microphone as close as possible is to use a lavalier mic. This is a Rode Wireless Go I've got clipped on right here. And if it's out at a distance, this gives you an example of why the proximity is so important. It doesn't sound as good right now, does it? But if I pull it in here and get it as close as it's designed to be, it probably sounds a lot better right now. So get the microphone as close as you can. If you're vlogging, maybe you're hand holding a camera or something, that's about as far as you want to be from the built-in or the microphones that are right there on a camera. Okay, so we've looked at setting our levels to -12 decibels peaking, wearing headphones, using wind protection when outside, and then also getting the mic as close to your subject as possible. Those are the 4 tips I got for recording sound. My name is Chadwick. This is Creative Video Tips, where I help you create videos that make a difference and stand out. If you got something from this video or you're into this sort of thing, I would love it if you would hit subscribe. That way you don't miss my video next week. Thanks so much, and I will see you in the next one.